Today's guests are newlyweds looking to help build a future together. Welcome, Charlie. Welcome, Sarah. So great to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
So tell me your story. I hear you're newlyweds.
Yeah, we just got married last spring. We had 4 weddings.
Wow. Charlie, what did you think of those 4 weddings?
It was a whirlwind, but it was definitely worth it, but it was quite a lot, honestly. Yeah.
And a lot of money, I would think, to plan both of those at the same time.
Yes.
Sarah, why did you decide on 4 weddings?
Well, we had 2 real ceremonies, and then we had a couple just like making it legal, and then we count those as our weddings too, because they all happen on different dates. But then, yeah, we had one in Vancouver for all of our family, where I'm from, and then we had one for major, just friends basically, and we went out to Las Coletas in Nueva Vallarta.
Wow.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
How many people were down there?
It was about 35 of us, so good turnout.
Would you do it again?
Yeah, absolutely. It was expensive, but it was worth it. We have some great pictures, so.
Yeah, the getaway weddings are a tough one because friends and family members want to be there, but maybe can't afford it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like if any friends or family members couldn't make that wedding, they could just go to one of the other 3.
Yep, exactly.
So it's fine.
Exactly.
So before you got married, did you sign a prenuptial agreement or a marriage agreement?
No.
And does that cause any concern for either of you, or did you even talk about it?
No,
No.
I don't think it ever came up.
I mean, most of the times that people do look at a marriage agreement is when there's an inequity of net worth coming into the relationship. So did you both bring about the same amount of net worth to the relationship?
I think so.
Well, we're just starting to accumulate assets, so we have more debt than we do assets, so.
Yeah, there's a little bit of hesitation there. So, Sarah, did you feel that you brought the same amount of debt to the relationship that Charlie did?
I did not.
Who brought more debt to the relationship?
Probably initially was me.
Okay,
So
okay.
student loans and car loan, that
Yes.
kind of stuff. But I think by the end of it, or close to the wedding, it was fairly even.
Yeah,
just with
we
wedding
equalized
planning
it.
and the fact that we had so many receptions over, a 6-month period.
Oh, so if
Yeah.
I'm hearing you right, the debt equalized over time because you just borrowed more money so that it was just all one big pile. Did you? So that's something we're going to have to focus on getting paid off later. Do you keep your finances together or separate?
They're separate right now.
And what are your plans for that? Do you find it easier to keep it separate? Are you wanting to bring them together?
Yeah, we'd like to bring them together. We just don't know if we should right now because we've got so many payments that are automated coming from our accounts, and we feel like it'll complicate things. So we don't know if we should. Should we be joining them together right now or not?
Well, and it's a good question to ask, and I think keeping it separate when you're newly together is a good idea, just until you get into the flow of things and understand each other's spending and finance habits. So Charlie may have gone off and spent something on a credit card or withdrawn out of the account that you didn't know about, and then Sarah, maybe you went and spent something, and next thing you know, you're both in the hole. And you don't want to do that. One suggestion I do have for new couples is to set up a joint account. Keep yours separate, but then every month put some of your own money into that joint account to pay all your joint expenses, like your rent or your mortgage and things like that.
Okay, that's a good idea.
What are some of your big goals that you have for the future together?
Debt-free is our #1 goal right now, and then eventually buy a house.
Okay, so you want to get the debt off the table and then build a future together and build up some equity in a home.
Yep,
Definitely.
that's right.
What's your big question for me today?
How do we pay off our debt efficiently, and should we stop putting money towards our RSPs and just focus on debt only?
Those are great questions. It's always nice to get rid of the debt, but you also want to save for the future. So I've got some advice for you when we come back. Don't go away. Find out how to pay down debt while still enjoying life now and in the future.
The Wealthy Life is brought to you by investment dealer Raymond James. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
Welcome back. We're here to help Sarah and Charlie pay off their debt efficiently. Doesn't that sound good? Wouldn't it be great if we could wave a magic wand and just make it suddenly disappear?
Yes.
But we can't. Now, Sarah, you talked also about RSP savings and whether or not you should keep doing that. Do you have an RSP savings program through your employer?
I do, yes.
So do they match money there?
They do up to a certain point, but yes, they do.
Okay, so that's fantastic. When that's like getting free money. And as much as you want to pay off your debt quicker, I do suggest you continue with your RSP savings program as long as you can take advantage of that matching.
Okay.
Maximize it out. I think most people are disciplined enough to pay off debt. They're not as disciplined to save.
Right.
Debt is like a nagging, heavy weight on your shoulder, isn't it? It feels awful. So you just want to get it paid off.
Right.
But that sometimes means savings goes on the back burner. So Charlie, tell me a little bit about the debt you have now. What type of debt do you have, and what interest rate are you currently paying?
Okay. Student loan is probably the biggest one, and that's, I believe, at 5-ish%.
Okay.
Then I have a loan that's about 7.5%.
Okay.
And then
And
we
credit cards.
have credit cards that are your standard high.
18 to 20%.
Exactly.
Okay. So step number one when paying off debt is to pay off the highest interest rate debt first. Just a $2,000 balance on a credit card at a standard 18% rate of return, making the minimum payment, which is about 2% of the balance, or $10 a month, whichever is higher. That is generally the minimum payment. Guess how many years it's going to take you to pay off that $2,000?
Forever.
30 years.
Wow.
30 years if you're just making minimum payments for a $2,000 debt.
Yeah.
So,
too long.
yeah. Now you're already in the debt. We want to clean it up. But are there things that you see yourself doing in the future that is going to incur more debt?
No, I think we're pretty lean. We don't do a lot. It is our number one goal, so we want to just pay it off
We're pretty focused.
efficiently as we can. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So there's not going to be any more surprises coming. You're going to want to save up money for a down payment on a house, though, one day, too.
Yeah.
Now, by putting your money into your RSP and getting the matching program, if you're a first-time home buyer, which I assume you are, you can look at using that RSP money as a down payment on your home. You're eligible under the first-time home buyer plan.
Okay.
So we'll get into more details on that another time.
Okay.
But just keep that in the back of your mind. So after you pay off your credit cards, I assume, do you have a certain budget every month of dollars that you have available to pay off debt?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Definitely.
Okay, so out of that, I want you to make the minimum payments only on your loan and your student loan. Minimum payments only. Pay the rest of that budget money on that credit card. Get it done as quickly as you can. Now, with your student loan, do you have the ability to extend the amortization period on that?
I think so, yeah.
Now, I know that goes against paying it off sooner. It's going to take longer. But trust me, if you do that and that frees up more cash flow to then pay off that other debt first, you will end up paying everything off a lot quicker. You just really got to get rid of that expensive debt. And so is there anything else that you're currently spending money on right now that you feel you can cut back on?
I don't think so. I think we're
Yeah,
pretty
I think that's
disciplined and we're pretty lean already.
Is there anything that you wish you could do that you're not yet doing?
definitely.
Yeah, everything.
Like, what would an example be?
Silly things. I'd like to go shopping. I'd like to buy furniture and travel, but
Okay.
yeah.
So in the meantime, only do those things with money you have, and consider shopping at thrift stores, buy secondhand furniture, and travel. Maybe just do a house exchange or go camping instead until you get this paid off. So I have some final tips for you guys just to summarize what we've talked about. Keep contributing to your RSP through the employee matching program. Pay down your credit card debt first, then work on the other debts. You want to start in the most expensive one and work your way down to the cheapest one last.
Okay. Great.
And then hopefully once all your debt's paid off, you've got nothing but great things to look forward to, like saving for a down payment on a house.
Sounds
Awesome.
great.
It's been great having you on the show. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
And stay tuned, because up next, we'll learn what millennial investors really want and the mistakes they often make.